what you said about dress where you want to be.
That's when you need to start adjusting your diet. That's when you need to start adjusting your eating habits, your exercise.
You have to learn to have some type of balance in your life.
So as a leader, you got to learn how to do the things that are the hardest for you in front of others.
Welcome to Let's Talk About It with your agent Ayana, the podcast where we unpack everything from insurance essentials to the secrets of wellness, business insights, and the thrilling journey of entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Ayana, your friendly State Farm agent, and I'm here to guide you through the often mysterious but always fascinating realms of life, coverage, and success. So buckle up, subscribe, and get ready to dive into conversations that matter. This is where we talk insurance, health, business, and everything in between. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, today we're diving into the world of fashion with a true trendsetter. Hailing from New York City, Troy Clinton's innate flair and passion for fashion have made him a sought-after stylist and consultant. From personal shopping to celebrity wardrobe styling, Troy's expertise knows no bounds. Get ready to be inspired by his incredible journey in the fashion industry. Welcome to the show, Troy.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so I am so excited to have you here, Troy. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on the podcast.
Yo,
I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you so much. So
Appreciate
Troy
you.
and I, we had an opportunity to work together with the magazine, and he is a phenomenal stylist. So I'm so excited to have him here.
Well, I appreciate being here. It was a pleasure working with you and the other ladies.
Thank
Y'all all were
you.
phenomenal. It was an awesome time had. You
Yes.
all looked amazing. Great energy. So when you reached out to me, I didn't even have to think twice about it.
I appreciate that, Troy.
I appreciate you.
it. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it.
Okay.
As a celebrity stylist, where did your passion come from? And what sparked your interest in the industry?
Well, I would say the passion definitely came from my mom. She was my first inspiration. I always looked up to my mom as a young boy. I used to see her getting dressed for work or going out and just be like, man, Mom, you are so beautiful. And she was always moved by that, I could tell. So I knew there was something in the power of complimenting a woman. For me, it was definitely my mom first. And she dressed me and my sister well. She was a single mom, but she kept us looking great. I always remembered that. And being from New York City, you know, I mean, fashion capital.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There was so much growing up that was coming out of New York City. Besides fashion, it was music, and music was inspiring fashion, and I gravitated to it all. Whatever the trends were back then, I was a part of it. I was doing it.
Yeah.
I was totally engrossed in the culture. And through school, I just worked retail stores, did a lot of things around fashion. You know, I just always loved clothes. So
Awesome.
I think ultimately it was gonna happen sooner than later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad it did though.
Awesome. So can you share your journey throughout the process of you being a celebrity stylist, a celebrity shopper, so on and so forth? How did that get started?
Well, I was doing a different career for about 15 years, and I just came to a point where I was feeling like I was ready for a change, and I was asking God to show me. And I'm a strong believer. I thought then I was doing something that I was called to do, and I was very passionate about the work. I was in nonprofit, and it was very rewarding, but it just came a point in my life where I was like ready to do something different.
Right.
And I was asking God to show me. And he reminded me about my love for fashion. I had already known people coming up in the industry, many stylists before me. And I just reached out to them, and you know, some of them just poured into me. And I took that information and my go-get-em attitude, that New Yorker in me, and I just, you know, made it happen for myself. So it's been a blessing.
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you.
So what advice would you give to inspiring, or excuse me, not inspiring, but aspiring celebrity stylists or people who want to become, you know, be in the fashion industry?
Yes, for sure. Well, I get a lot of people hitting me up, and I appreciate people, you know, reaching out to me. And I always believe in giving back and reaching out to give support to those because I got support, right? So I'm a strong believer in that. But I tell everybody, you know, if this is something you want to do, even if you have a love for it, treat it as a business. So make sure you set it up as a business. You know, you get that EIN number, you pay those taxes, You do all those
That's
things.
right.
So like if we ever have another crazy incident again like COVID, you could be able to get some of the relief money. And so by being set up as a business,
Yeah.
Treat it as a business, but make sure you keep people around you who support that.
Absolutely.
Who are encouraging, who are motivating, because sometimes stepping into entrepreneurship can be very scary.
Right.
And you can have a lot of self-doubt, you can question, you can wonder. But if you got faith and you got good people behind you, then you can continue to push through. And through all the no's, there's gonna be, one person that says yes, and that can make the difference.
Absolutely.
I believe in mentorship. So, if you could get under someone who you admire, that will definitely create room for future opportunities for you when you decide one day you want to become a solo stylist and go off on your own. But it's also showing you the ropes early. And so you miss out on some of those moments that I had that if I had known, I could have avoided. But I'm always quick to want to share those so other people don't have to go down the road that I went when it comes to some things, because sometimes you're passionate and you can really hold back from really what God has for you because you're not really putting or demanding what you're worth and what your work is worth. So I always tell people, know what you're worth, stand behind that,
That's right.
and just continue to trust God.
Amen. No, that's right. Okay. So I have a question for you. So I tried to put this outfit together, and I don't know if I did a good job, but I'll ask you this. If I did a good job, say yes. But if I didn't, we'll just keep talking.
Heck yes. I love it.
You're so sweet.
I
Thank you,
love
Troy.
it. I love it.
I'm
You do
just
your
messing with
thing.
you.
Listen,
I'm
you
just-
came on that set knowing what you like and what you don't like, from your hair to your clothes.
Look, I'm from Memphis.
I was like, listen, that sister right there, we got to give her what she wants. We got to change up her energy, because I'm feeling like she's in a space where, listen, I'm putting trust in these people, but I know what I like. I know how I like my hair. I know how I like my clothes. So,
Ooh, I'm from
but I
Memphis.
appreciated you for that.
Speak up.
And I was like, yo, I'm gonna shift her energy because I know she in a space. But yo, God gonna let me shift this right here.
Yeah, and you shifted it.
Yeah,
and
it
you
was
did.
awesome. It was awesome. I
So thank
appreciated
you so much. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
So I have a quick question for you. What essential items, or excuse me, what 5 essential items would you recommend that men and women have in their wardrobe at all times?
Okay, let's see. Well, no, that's not hard at all. That's simple. Okay, definitely a denim jacket.
Okay.
Or a denim shirt for men and women.
Okay.
Like, that's just a white Oxford shirt for men and women.
Okay.
I believe everyone should have that. For a woman, a black pump. For a man, a black shoe.
Got it.
A favorite pair of jeans, men and women. Everybody should have those go-to jeans that they just love. And for a man, definitely a suit. And for a woman, probably that sexy little black dress.
Gotcha. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So as we wind down, please tell the audience what is next for Troy Clinton.
Oh man, listen, I'm always asking God to just show me, because I feel like there's so much that I can do, and I'm not tapping into all of that. And so I'm thinking about, well, not thinking about, I really want to pursue in this year some interior design decorating.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at it. Well, I think I've always been pretty good at it, but between that and fashion, I just felt like I chose one. But now I've been doing the fashion thing for like almost 15 years. And I'm just feeling now like I'm ready to expand my brand. And I think that's an area that I would do really well in. Very creative in that. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully more productions, more movies. I have one that just came out.
Yes, the Geechee.
Yes,
the
yes,
Geechee movie.
yes.
Yes.
It was an exciting opportunity for me.
I'm sorry. So I have a question. I watch a lot of Tubi movies. Is it on Tubi?
No, it's actually in the theaters.
In the theaters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm all.
And
I'm all
I
mixed
am
up.
costume designer, so
Okay.
I'm believing God for more opportunities like that. I'm going to be working.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I got another project that's starting up in March, so I'm excited about that too. And just continuing to, do my thing with fashion and hoping God to take it to the next level,
Yes.
But I'm just happy, enjoying my life, my babies, everything. God is good. Yes.
Yes. Oh, well, I appreciate you again.
appreciate you.
I'm so proud of you. I'm thankful for you. our interaction at the photo shoot was amazing, and
Yes,
I was just like, I gotta have Troy on the podcast, and I appreciate you so much for agreeing to come.
Yes, and much success to you in your new venture.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
Thank you.
So hello everyone. We are back with Dr. Eddie. Thank you so much for coming back, Dr. Eddie. In this segment, we will be discussing cholesterol. So can you talk to the audience about high cholesterol and any lifestyle changes that they can make in order to reduce their cholesterol levels?
Wow, this is a good one. I like this one. I can catch this one. Hello, everybody, and it's good to be back. Yes, absolutely. Share some information. And I love talking about high cholesterol, talking about diabetes, talking about high blood pressure, because they're all three interconnected. I mean, really, they're all three interconnected. High cholesterol relates to hypertension, which relates to diabetes. And so you really can't separate one without talking about the other. And particularly in the African American population, I always talk about know your numbers, okay? It's very important that you know your numbers. And cholesterol is one of those things you want to know your numbers for. There are a few things you want to look at, and the research is changing. It's recently changed even more in the last couple of years, because when I say change, we're all the time doing studies, CDC, the task force, they're all the time doing studies and passing information down. My academy, the American Academy of Family Physicians, is all the time doing research and studies and publishing them. And they come down with different recommendations. And so in the last couple of years, not only have they come down with blood pressure recommendations, but they've also come down with cholesterol recommendations. But as we all know, there's three big things we look for on a cholesterol panel. There's actually four. We look for the total cholesterol level, which is what your burden of your cholesterol in your body is. And cholesterol is really, we make cholesterol, and there's this long thing we have to go through when we're in pathophysiology, a biochemistry, when we're in medical school. There's this formula that will cover this whole wall of how cholesterol is made from what we eat to how it goes to what we call the Krebs cycle. And if I got any of my doctors out there, they can appreciate the Krebs cycle because it starts one way and it's all about where it's broken off in a different way. So I tell patients sometimes when we say to them, you have high cholesterol, a doctor in his mind has 3 or 4 different spots that you could have a high cholesterol problem at. You could have a total cholesterol, okay? And that's the total burden because you're not breaking it down. You need your liver to break down your cholesterol, okay? So if you got a high cholesterol, so the magic number for total cholesterol is 200. So we want to keep you below 200. If you're above 200, then we consider you to have elevated cholesterol because you got to think about it like almost like a big pot up here. And if you got a big number, like 300-400, it's going through a funnel. And then this goes into your HDL, which is your good cholesterol, and your LDL, which is your other cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, and your triglycerides. So if you got a high cholesterol, then those numbers are going to be high as well. So we got to decrease the total cholesterol. So you say, what can we do lifestyle changes to change that? So high cholesterol comes from eating a lot of greasy, fatty foods, which unfortunately is the African American diet. Like I've said on our show before, I love a good piece of fried chicken, okay? I mean, I do, but you gotta cook it in the right kind of oil because that's the saturated fats and the different fats that get into your body. So you gotta be careful of eating a lot of fried fatty foods, okay? You gotta be careful of eating a lot of high carbs and those type of foods, which is going to increase your cholesterol level. But mainly I talk to people about staying away from fatty foods, staying away from fried foods, eating more fish, eating more chicken. As you notice, I constantly say we eat more fish, eat more chicken. One, because it also contributes to digestive as well. It's easier to digest, so it's good. Baked chicken and baked fish are much better than fried fish or fried chicken. But everybody likes a good piece of fried catfish on Friday night. So, it is what it is, So we start there, and then we look at what our HDL. HDL is your high density cholesterol, and it's a good cholesterol. Why is that important? Because HD, it picks up the bad cholesterol, which is the LDL, the low density. And the reason that's important because we call it low density because they're smaller particles. So At one point, I talked to you about your blood vessels, and your blood vessels has pockets in them sometimes. So LDL, being low cholesterol, can drop into those pockets. And when it drops into those pockets, that's how you start to form plaque in your vessels. And so then it starts packing on top of it. And so that's why the low density are more dangerous than the high density particles. So we want to keep that number. Now that number is supposed to be less than 100. Now we're talking about people who are normal, healthy, don't have high blood pressure, don't have diabetes, don't have high triglycerides. We're talking about those folks. There's different numbers for people who have high blood pressure and diabetes and some of the other chronic conditions that we'll talk about different numbers. So 100 is the LDL number. And then your HDL number, you want your high density number to be elevated, because what it does is it goes by and it picks up the LDL to take them back to the liver for another cycle to the liver, which will break them down even more so that they're then either excreted or they're used correctly. So those are the three things. So total is 200, LDL is less than 100, and HDL, we want that as high as you can get it. And I talked a little bit about new recommendations. So the new recommendations are, let's get your cholesterol as low as we can get it. That's what the cardiologists are now recommending. There's no level too low to push your LDL down to. If you can get it down to 50, 40, that's even better. I mean, and so how do you do that? You can do that with either flaxseed, fish oil, and a lot of people, when you hear eat salmon, well, it's got to be wild caught salmon. Okay? So you got to be real careful about that when they tell you about just go eat salmon. You just can't eat salmon. Okay? You need to eat wild caught salmon, because that's the one that actually has the FTA and the FDA in it, which is the particles that pick up cholesterol. And so you got to know that. The same thing when people say get fish oil, because I try to practice natural medicine when I see my patients as much as I can before I go into Western medicine. Western medicine is always in my back pocket. And when I say Western medicine, what I'm really talking about is the medication. So if I can get you to eat healthier, if I can get you to take natural supplements because the body can break down natural supplements, because obviously they come from natural products. And so we're going to be able to break those down easier than we can some of the manufactured products, which are the statins and some of the other sort of medications we put you on. So I go back to my point about fish oil. So you just can't take fish oil. Because fish oil sometimes doesn't have the recommended dosage of FTA and ETA in it, okay? And those are the active ingredients that pick up the cholesterol, which will lower your cholesterol. So if you're gonna take fish oil, make sure you take it and look on the back, because you need to have a minimum of 650 milligrams of these two elements in it. So when you look on the back of your fish oil that you're picking up in the grocery store, wherever you're picking up in the health food store, you want to make sure those ingredients are in there. And if you see them in that fish oil and they won't publish that means it doesn't have enough active ingredient in it. So they're just selling you fish oil so you can say, hey, I'm taking fish oil. And so, but you really want to take it so that it has the active ingredient. So you can do that. You can do flaxseed oil, which is also good. You eat a lot of vegetables and a lot of fruits, they will actually lower your cholesterol as well. So you lower your total burden. And then, then exercise. Exercise will actually raise your HDL, because believe it or not, we really don't know how to raise your HDL. Your body raises your HDL, but we do know how to lower the cholesterol and the LDL. And so I say, then once we pass the natural products and your diet, because sometimes, most of the time, if you have high cholesterol or hyperlipidemia, that's what the technical term of it is, we know, I say as a doctor, we know you're lacking an enzyme that regardless of how well you eat, you're not going to be able to process your food, because it needs to go through that long Krebs cycle I was telling you about. It needs to go through that cycle to be broken down, because we need cholesterol, because we make all of our own amino acids, we make our own steroids, we make our own, everything that the body needs, it makes it through going through that cycle, and it's just where it breaks off that you're going to get cholesterol, or you're going to get, lysine, or you're going to get some of the other amino acids. It's just where they break off that in that whole cycle. So we need those things. So, but sometimes you don't have those, and so we know you're missing something. So you may have just isolated hypertriglyceridemia, and so that increases
hypertriglyceride.
hypertriglyceridemia. That's a big word. So
And you just gonna graze on too.
my bad.
Throw that big word at me. No. Let's talk about it.
That's doctor language. I'm trying to be, because if I said it, my colleague would be like, okay, he knows. But I'm trying to be sensitive, so okay. But you're right. Thank you for slowing me down. The hypertriglyceridemia is something a little bit different than having hyperlipidemia, which is the cholesterol.
Okay.
And that's the technical name for having elevated cholesterol.
Gotcha.
So you need something, so that's a different medication, because now we got to break the triglycerides down before they go into the cycle to break down into the other products. So we know that there's certain things that you need. So sometimes we may put you on something just to lower your LDL if your cholesterol is okay. And we've got much better over the years. Now in the last 3-5 years, we have monthly injections of medications that will drive down your cholesterol, so you don't have to take a pill every day, because not everybody can take a statin. So the number one, you know what the number one drug in the world is?
No.
Lipitor.
Oh.
Lipitor is a atrivastatin. That is the number one drug in the world because of cholesterol, and because cardiologists recommend that we be on that, not only for lowering our cholesterol, but also for heart healthy and cardiovascular health. So that's the number one southern drug in the world.
Okay.
So that's the reason why is because cardiovascular is still the number one killer in the world. So people still die of cardiovascular disease. And then cancer comes after that, believe it or not. So we still have to treat that very aggressively.
Yeah.
So we may put you on Lipitor. Lipitor lowers everything. So there's two types of treatment for hypercholesterolemia. There's aggressive treatment and there's moderate treatment. So people on aggressive treatment, if your cholesterol, if you have diabetes and high blood pressure and hypertension, you probably need to be on one of these. So you need to be on either Lipitor or you need to be on Crestor. Crestor is our only medication that now known to regress the plaques in your vessels, which means it takes the fat out that decreases your risk of having a heart attack or a stroke. And so that is the number one. So you're in that too. And then you can be in moderate treatment of it. That means maybe your cholesterol is 220. We want to get it down to less than that, and you just have high blood pressure. So you're going to be on something like stemvastatin, pravastatin, or one of those kind of statins.
Okay.
Statins, when you hear somebody on statins, that's usually that is a cholesterol medicine, and it works to lower the actual cholesterol levels. Some are better than others. Zocor is another one of the statin medicines that's out there. It's pretty prevalent, so you should be on that. So, and I talk to patients sometimes, particularly my patients that have diabetes. They don't want to hear this, but if you got diabetes, you're going to probably be on like 5 different meds, like Octane. Okay, you got to be on something for your diabetes. You need to be on something for your blood pressure. Even if you don't have high blood pressure, we need to preserve your kidneys because diabetes damage your kidneys so much. You got to be on something for cholesterol because we want to lower your cardiac risk. You're going to need to be on an aspirin at least. So those are at least 4 to 5 medicines you need to be on just to maintain, so we can decrease your risk and your secondary risk of having strokes and heart attacks, because it's all about prevention, right? So we want to do those things, but patients don't want to be on that kind of medicine. So I try to get them to start to eat correctly, to exercise, to decrease the fat in their diet, drink more water. Again, water. Our body is 67% water, so why wouldn't we drink something that we're mainly made of? Okay, I hear some people say they don't like water. I'm allergic to water. I'm like, how can you be allergic to water?
Not allergic.
Sometimes you just have to tell people the truth. Like, no, that ain't. But no, because they come in and tell you a red hair, and you're like that. My toe hurt, but I think it's in my ear. No, it's not. Like, really? No. I tell folks, medicine can be fun, but it's serious business. And so I try to make it as fun as possible and have people enjoy it so that they will engage in it. So there's ways to be healthy, have fun, take good care of yourself, but work on eating more, work on eating better, okay? As I said, we also the only society in the world that thinks, I believe in the world, that thinks that 3 big meals is the right way to eat. And that's not necessarily true. Other societies think that smaller meals frequently during the day is better, and that's what we found. A general diet for you to be on, just to lower your cholesterol and overall health, is the Mediterranean diet. Now, the Mediterranean diet is full of fruits and vegetables, and it has nuts in it. If you want to eat a nut that's good, peanuts are good, unsalted. Almonds are really good, okay? Cashews are even better if you just want to eat some nuts. Fruits and vegetables that are good, apples, oranges, those kind of things are really good. They lower your cholesterol, they tie up free radicals, so they're really good. So again, red meat falls to the bottom of the scale. Chicken, fish, broil, bake is more higher up on the list. And you can eat some red salmon, and I recommend that you eat at least, if you're going to do the salmon thing, you need at least one serving a week of the wild-caught salmon.
Okay.
And so you can actually do those things. And stay away from the salt. So those are some things you can actually do.
More great tips. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for providing the information.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Eddie here with Ask Dr. Eddie. I'm here to answer your questions about health and wellness on the podcast with your agent, Ayanna. You can have any questions or concerns, you can drop them in the comment box below, and I will try my best to get back with you and answer those questions. Hope you get some good information out of this and enjoy the session.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Let's Talk About It with your agent, Ayanna. I hope you enjoyed our conversation today as much as I did. Remember, your feedback matters, so don't forget to like, share, and comment if you found value in today's episode. Stay connected with us on social media at Your Agent Ayanna for the behind-the-scenes content, updates on upcoming episodes, and a sneak peek into the life of a State Farm agent, navigating the worlds of insurance, health, business, and entrepreneurship. And as we wrap up today, always remember your dreams are worth protecting, your well-being is non-negotiable, and your journey in business and life is uniquely yours to thrive in. Until next time, stay protected, stay inspired, and stay blessed.